We're taught to chase success, to measure strength by achievement, to equate progress with praise. But the Stoic sees through that illusion. He knows that success can decorate you, but pain builds you, because pain doesn't flatter you. It doesn't care about your image. It reveals who you are when nothing is left to hide behind. Success is comfortable. Pain is confrontational. It strips away what's unnecessary and leaves you with the raw truth. You either face it or you run. But if you face it, something changes. Your priorities shift. Your ego shrinks. Your clarity sharpens. And slowly pain becomes your teacher. Not the kind that speaks kindly, but the kind that demands growth or collapse. The Stoic doesn't chase suffering, but he doesn't run from it either. He accepts it as a natural part of life, as a test, as a forge. Because while comfort preserves the surface, pain rebuilds the foundation. And the man who has been through pain and come out disciplined, focused, and grounded, that man carries a strength success alone could never give. Pain is honest. It doesn't let you hide behind excuses or distractions. It forces you to see exactly where you are, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. And that's why it changes you. Because in those moments when everything feels like it's falling apart, you're left with only one decision: break or build. Most people break. They blame, they numb themselves, they avoid. But the Stoic builds, quietly, without attention, without pity. He understands that pain is not a punishment, it's information. It shows you your weaknesses so you can strengthen them. It highlights your attachments so you can detach. It humbles your ego so you can rebuild from truth, not illusion. That's why some of the most powerful men you'll ever meet are also the most quiet, the most centered, because they've been through hell, and they made it mean something. Success doesn't always teach you. Sometimes it blinds you. It makes you comfortable, soft, careless. Pain doesn't allow that. It sharpens your edge. It demands growth. It asks questions no comfort ever will. What are you made of? Who are you without applause? Can you stand still in the fire? And the Stoic answers those questions, not with words, but with how he rises. Pain demands presence. You can't sleepwalk through it. You can't fake your way past it. It grabs you by the throat and says, "Be here. Feel this. Face this." And while most people try to escape, the Stoic leans in, not because he enjoys suffering, but because he knows what's on the other side. He knows that every moment of pain carries the seed of a lesson, and if you're willing to sit with it, to understand it, to not run, then it becomes power. The Stoic doesn't dramatize pain. He doesn't use it to get attention. He uses it to get clarity. While others post, react, and collapse, he reflects. He doesn't say, "Why is this happening to me?" He says, "What is this here to teach me?" That mindset doesn't numb you. It fortifies you. You stop being surprised when life gets hard. You stop waiting for it to be easy. You expect discomfort and prepare for it. And that preparation, that's where you become someone even pain can't move. If this is the shift you needed, subscribe now and hit the bell, because we're not here to escape pain. We're here to use it. Now ask yourself this: if pain was the only teacher you ever had, what would it be trying to teach you right now? Pain doesn't just test your strength, it reveals your patterns, how you react, what you reach for, who you become when comfort is stripped away. The Stoic doesn't see pain as a moment to survive, he sees it as a mirror, because what you do under pressure exposes what's real. And what's real is what needs work. Most people distract themselves the moment discomfort shows up. They scroll, they complain, they blame. But the Stoic steps into it, not to suffer, but to study. He wants to understand his triggers, his reactions, his thoughts when things don't go his way, because that's where the real growth happens. Not when everything feels aligned, but when nothing does, and you still choose clarity over chaos. Pain is where detachment is born. You learn not to cling. You stop expecting smooth paths. You stop believing that the absence of hardship means you're on the right track. And that shift frees you. You stop trying to control the world and start focusing on what you can master, yourself. That's why pain doesn't destroy the Stoic. It distills him. It takes away what's unnecessary and leaves only what's true. And that truth, that's what becomes unshakable. There's a difference between being hurt and being hardened. Most people experience pain and build walls. They shut down. They become reactive, cold, distant. But the Stoic doesn't use pain as a reason to close off. He uses it as a reason to refine. He doesn't let pain turn him into something smaller. He lets it shape him into something sharper. Pain doesn't have to break you. It can break the illusion. The idea that life owes you something. The belief that you can avoid difficulty forever. Once that illusion is gone, you stop resisting life and start working with it. You accept that discomfort is part of the process, that every challenge is not an attack, but a forge. And that mindset changes the way you show up. You stop expecting peace to come from the outside. You start building it from within. That means discipline. That means self-respect. That means cutting things out that weaken your mind, even if they once felt good. Because the man who has suffered with purpose moves differently. He doesn't chase comfort. He doesn't fear struggle. He walks through the fire, not to prove anything, but because he's done running. He knows who he is, and pain helped him remember. Pain never leaves you the same. It either breaks you down or builds you up. The difference isn't in the pain itself, it's in what you do with it. Most people let pain define them. They carry it like a badge, talk about it like its identity. But the Stoic doesn't wear pain, he uses it. He lets it refine his thoughts, strip away his weakness, and reveal the discipline that was waiting underneath all along. You don't need to run from discomfort. You need to become someone who can hold it, sit with it, grow through it. That's where real strength lives, not in your victories, but in the way you handle the losses. In the stillness you maintain when everything around you shakes. That strength isn't loud. It doesn't post. It doesn't explain. It just shows up again and again, unchanged. Because the man who's been through pain and didn't flinch, who rebuilt himself in silence, who found meaning in the fire, that man is not easily moved. He doesn't need the world to understand him. He doesn't need approval. He's already earned something better, self-respect. So here's your question. If success made you soft, but pain made you unshakable, which one do you really want more?